Alright, I'm doing a review. It's going to be kind of a pain in the butt because I have a little tripod, but typically, I don't know, I'm just holding my Samsung S8 in one hand to film the review. And I'm going to have to use my other hand to manipulate the phone, obviously. Anyways, let's talk about this. This is the Moto G6 Play. Right here. Now, how I got this is, well, I'm kind of a phone nerd, definitely a phone nerd. And I've sort of gotten back into them. Like, I kind of went through a phase where like phones were really awesome, and smartphones were just taking off. I mean, I'm a geek, nerd, video game player anyways, but and then there was a phase where I felt like phones were like good enough, and I kind of lost interest in them. About the time of maybe the Samsung S5, that's where the screens hit about 5 inches, and before then the screens kept going up quickly, and they kind of reached a point where they can't go up anymore. And I don't know, the S5 was a good phone, but I didn't really feel any envy of other phones for about the 2 years I owned it, which always before, like when I had my S1, oh man, that was torture because bigger and bigger phones were coming out left and right, and it was a piece of junk anyway. The Bluetooth didn't work, the GPS didn't work, Samsung failed. But anyways, but by the time I hit about the S5, even the S3 to some extent, it was like I wasn't jealous of other phones really. But I don't know. I kind of found myself getting, and I was like, phones are done. They're nice, but you get one, you're done with it. I wasn't like, but I don't know. I found myself kind of getting back into them and following them again. But you can only, I'm not rich, so you can only have your like daily driver, your regular phone, for the most part. Now I've had a chance to look at a few phones, and I had an Honor 7X recently. I got that review on my channel. Sold it, got something else, switched carriers too. It's another long story. Switched carriers to Sprint because I got a deal where I got a free year of Sprint Unlimited. So I'm on Sprint right now, but with my S8, which kind of limits my phone because I can't use all the GSM ones, like all the Huawei's and stuff. And even the OnePlus 6 looks pretty awesome, but I can't use that because it's GSM, even if I wanted to, which I don't want to that much, but what I'm going to do. But anyways, I got an S8, which I got a good deal on it for about $400 on the Slick Deals forum. I'm always finding these deals. Same way I got the free year of phone service. And but they didn't have that same deal on the S8 Plus. Honestly, I wish really, really bad I had the S8 Plus, but the S8 is fine. It's good. Just because I like the bigger phones and more screen size. So let's get to this G6 Play. So on Samsung, I've been looking at Motorola's website. This thing is still showing as like coming soon, coming soon, coming soon. As far as I know, at least like yesterday it was. So I thought they weren't available, but this was one of the phones I was actually looking at getting when I was still on Cricket, which was GSM. Now I could get it on Sprint, I guess. Yeah, I could get it on Sprint. Yeah, good point. I could get it on Sprint. I don't think I will, but I really wanted to check it out. Now I really wish they had brought if you don't know, they're bringing the G6 Play, and the I think it's the E5, different E models, but let's just stick with the G6. But the one I really want is the G6 Plus because it has a bigger screen. It has the big like 6-inch screen. It's basically the plus size version. Now, if they had got that out, I honestly would have probably bought it because I would probably go ahead and sell my Galaxy S8 and get it just for the bigger screen, just for something different. And it works on Sprint, since that's the cool thing about Motorola phones. They work on all networks. They're CDMA and GSM. And one of the few. Being on Sprint now, and looking around for like the cheapest CDMA phones, you learn pretty quick that it's pretty much Motorola. It's pretty much the only people making like low cost quality. I mean, I'm sure like all these other companies do, but they're generally tied, like the LG X Charge and whatever phones. They're all tied to prepaid carriers, and they're locked. For an unlocked quality, low cost, I think it's pretty much Motorola that works on CDMA that I know. Besides like a essential phone or something like that, it's a little higher priced. I don't know if I trust an essential phone. But anyway, so I was looking. I really was interested in this phone, even though the 5.7-inch screen is kind of a bummer because that's about the same size as my S8. I wanted the G6 Plus so bad. I'm so angry they didn't bring that. And you know another thing that the G6 Plus has that I saw a review mentioning it. Its screen gets much brighter, and I'm a screen brightness fiend. It's the key stat in screens to me. I just like knowing my screen can get really bright, and the G6 Plus screen gets to like over 800 nits of brightness, whereas normal phones get to like around 500, like 480. This phone included. So that's another reason, man, I want the G6 Plus so bad. Oh, and the G6 Plus has NFC, which you can use for Samsung Pay and stuff, which I'm just getting into, and I'm actually finding out I don't really love it. To me, I figured out it's not really any more convenient than just pulling out your credit card, you know? At least I don't see where it's more convenient. You still got to put your PIN, or you got to do a fingerprint, which I don't have security on my phone, and fingerprint security is annoying. The reason I don't is because I'm always using it to play podcasts, music, and I like it to be easy to manipulate the podcast or the music. So I don't want to have to unlock the phone. And the fingerprint sensor being in the back is a pain in the butt. It's just not good. You know, it's just way easier to just swipe and have no security. And I've never lost my phone, so, you know, I mean, sure, if I do, I'm going to be mad. Like, oh my God, I have no security on my phone. But, you know, I always have it on me, basically. So anyways, see, I don't really care about the fingerprint reader. The Samsung. I was talking about how the NFC. I don't. You know, having dabbled in it now. Before, my bank couldn't use it. But I switched banks recently to Chase because they were giving $300 to switch to their checking account, and that was tempting. And I was a little tired of my bank anyway. It's kind of a podunk local bank. It doesn't have a lot of advanced features and stuff, and the app's kind of crappy. Although I'm finding out I liked it just as much as better than Chase actually. But anyways, I switched to Chase and they have NFC, and so I've started dabbling in it just in the last week or so. So that was actually one of the big reasons I wanted to switch banks. And I found it's just not more convenient than using your card really so far. So what's the point? You know, you still got to put your PIN in your phone. Then you got to put your PIN in the machine, the payment machine. So what? You know, why not just pull out your card? I don't see it. It's you know, I don't know that it's much more convenient, if at all. But getting back to this G6 Play, so I didn't think this was available. Then I saw another YouTuber named CV Tech who deals in these low cost phones. I like him. Good channel. He's always talking about Boost Mobile and this and that, prepaid. You know, he specializes in like low cost prepaid companies and stuff. And he mentioned he had some videos up a week or two ago with this G6 Play, and it's some he had an E5 and this and the new one. So I was like, whoa, wait a minute. And he was like, I got this at Walmart, whatever. So I realized that this phone was available at Walmart, and he mentioned it's $79. So I was like, whoa, that's cheap. So I went to Walmart and I bought this. Now, to be honest, I'm just using it as a Wi-Fi phone because I'm on Sprint and it's very tough. It's not like It's not like Cricket. It's awesome. But you can just pop the SIM out, pop the SIM in another phone. You can't do that with Sprint. You have to basically call them, beg them to let you use your phone. They're very limited. Like this being a Boost Mobile phone, even though Boost Mobile is owned by Sprint, I doubt they're going to let this on their postpaid network. So, I mean, it's a big hassle, and Sprint's very draconian. And I thought Verizon was bad. Sprint's worse than Verizon. You're very limited in your phones. Basically, the only way to switch phones on Verizon and Sprint, for me, on a bring your own device plan, is I'd have to buy another unlocked phone and then call them and that's compatible with Sprint. And then I have to call them and get them to do a device switch on it. And you have to be careful because they treat upgrades as something you have to pay for. So if they think you're upgrading your phone, whatever the heck that means, then you get charged. So you have to call like tech support, not customer service, and you have to say you're doing a device swap. You have to be careful not to use the word upgrade, all this ridiculous stuff. Because if you do that, you're going to get charged, So contrast this with Cricket that I used to be on, where it's like, you got a new phone, you pop out the SIM, you put it in your new GSM unlocked phone, you're good to go. I mean, it's great. But on the other hand, I was paying $45 a month for Cricket, which I just switched to $35 right before I got the free. And the Sprint plan is free. It's not completely free. I got to pay the taxes and fees. It's like $370 a month. So to save $35 a month, it's worth for 1 year, giving up the ability to swap phones so easily, especially because I don't actually swap my phones that much. Who does? It would be too expensive. Anyways, let's get back to the G6 Play. So I went to my Walmart, and sure enough, they do have this. They have it in Boost Mobile, which I didn't know what they were. Boost Mobile is Sprint's prepaid MVNO. I thought it was Verizon's. So I grabbed it for $79. My plan is just for using it as a Wi-Fi phone for a couple days. I just wanted to check out the display, check out the speed, just check it out. I was really curious. Most likely, I've never done this before, but most likely I'll just return it because I believe Walmart I was looking at their prepaid cell phone return policy. You can return for 14 days. So basically, I've got 2 weeks with it. Basically, I'll probably have next week solidly with it. And after like a week and a half, I'll take it back. So that's a lot of time to play with it. I hope I don't have a case on it, so if I drop it, I got hardwood floors and stuff. Not hardwood, laminate wood, but if I drop it, I may break it. If I drop it, I own it basically. But so yeah, for $79, that's not too much risk. And even if Walmart doesn't let me return it, which I don't see why they wouldn't, but I know I can pop it on Swappa. I've sold some phones on Swappa and just had absolutely great experience. Actually, just one, but it's awesome experience. So much better than eBay. Swappa or eBay, if this is an $80 phone, I'm sure I can net $50 out of it. So worst case scenario, if I have to sell it myself instead of Walmart taking it. So the point is, there's very little risk, and I just bought some, and I'm just using it on Wi-Fi, just as just to play with it around the house. And what do I think about this phone? First of all, I put a different wallpaper on it because I noticed every review this has the same wallpaper, and that was getting annoying. Which this wallpaper is probably just as bad. But if you wanted to see it with like a gray wallpaper, there you go. It's some kind of like foggy. I just put it on right for this video just because I noticed every review of this phone uses the green wallpaper, and I wanted to see the display with something else. So there it is with kind of a gray. I'll put it back on green, honestly. It honestly looks good. Let's pick that. Set wallpaper. Both. The green looks really nice. Looks really rich. Now, what do I think about this phone? Now, by the way, the G6 Play again. This has 16 gigabytes of memory and 2 gigabytes of RAM, and has a Snapdragon. I'm not even positive on the CPU, but it's very low end CPU. And the storage and everything's low end, but it's pretty smooth. Now, I did notice switching around, you will notice some stuttering. I can't really film and look at the same time, but I will notice some slowdown. And I would worry about this phone getting slower later on because it's already a weak chipset. Like, there seems to be some stuttering just in the scrolling there. It's a very weak chipset, and I have a Samsung tablet with a weak chipset. Even when I bought it 2 or 3 years ago, there was a very weak chipset in this Samsung tablet I have. It was $199. It's got a pretty nice screen, pretty nice tablet. It still works, actually, amazingly, because I rarely ever use it. It's nice to have on hand, but I don't really use it. But it's got a very slow chipset / CPU. Like I said, even for the time, and it's probably 2 to 4 years old. I'm not sure, at least 3. So you can imagine what it's like now. And it's very stuttery, and it works actually. But so I worry about the same thing with this phone. What's this phone going to be like in a year or two if it's kind of slow right out of the box? So I would worry about that if I was buying the G6 Play. I did Geekbench, and it scored actually higher than the reviews were saying. I thought they were saying like a 5 something single core and 1300 multi-core, which is terrible. But let me look at history here. Here you can see I ran one the other day. It took forever. But single core 665, multi-core 1881. That's actually not bad. It's much better than I thought that this phone was going to get. But what do I think of the phone again? I haven't installed anything. By the way, as far as storage, you get like over 8 gigabytes Here's the battery. Storage, 50% used. This is almost out of the box. I've only been playing with this phone for a couple days. The only app I really installed of note was, you can see right there, 7.98 gigabyte used. So it's basically used 8 gigabyte and free is 8 gigabyte. That's about how it came. Now I've taken a few photos, and I put Geekbench on there. It was the only app I installed so far. And whatever comes preloaded. So it comes with basically about 8 gigabytes of free space, which isn't bad in my opinion. I saw a lot of people, oh, 16 gigabytes is unusual. No, it's not. Now, especially you could put an SD card in this phone, and you could do that for your pictures and media. They'll go on there. Now, apps, it may not be able to use the SD card. I'm not sure the status on that. But, I mean, if you're buying a cheap phone like this, you shouldn't expect to have, be a power user with it. I saw a lot of people bitching and slick deals or whatever about, 16 gigabytes is unusable. I don't think it's unusable. You got over 8 gigabytes free. Like I said, now it's down to 8.02 gigabytes free. Yeah, you got over 8 gigabytes free out of the box. It's not bad. And, is it ideal? Of course not, but I believe with the G6 comes with 32 though, so you'd be even way better off. And it comes with 3 gigabytes RAM, I think. And it comes with a more powerful chipset. All that for $249, whereas this G6 Play is $199, I believe. So to sum it all up, I would invest the extra $50 in the G6, the regular G6, in my opinion, for sure, because you're gonna get the more powerful CPU, you're gonna get more storage, more RAM, and all for not much more money. Now, the one advantage this Play has is it has a bigger battery. It has a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, whereas the regular G6 is a 3,000 milliamp battery. I charged this morning. I've already been playing around with it a little today. And look at the battery. 97%. I mean, this thing seems like it's going to be ridiculous. This is like my first full day playing with it. I just got it last night. I mean, I've already played with it a bunch today. Had the screen on a bunch. It's at 97%. Like, holy smokes. So I'm very impressed with that. That's the one big advantage this Play would have. But I'd still go with the regular G6 for the more power, more storage, all that. For only 50 extra bucks. But what do I think about this phone? Now, I've handled a few Moto phones. So you can see it slows down a little whenever you switch to Google Now. It's choppy scrolling. But here's it scrolling on a web page, reset error form. What do I think about this phone? It's great. Not gonna lie, the display is amazing, much better than my Honor 7X. I always bring up the Honor 7X I had and how bad the display with that was. It kind of scarred me for life on LCDs. This is much better. Of course, it's not as good as the Samsung OLED, but it's very bright. This is only like half brightness. It's very bright. On full brightness, it's like this. I mean, it's very bright. Half brightness is plenty, to be honest, that's the test of a phone to me. If half brightness is good, I'm good with it. That's half brightness and it's plenty. Don't know what else to say. I took one photo yesterday and it looked terrible, so I was all set to come in this review saying the photos look terrible, but I don't know how to judge photos at all. I'm the farthest thing from a camera guru. I took a couple more outside today and it looked good. So, I don't know. I would judge for yourself on the camera. It's probably not the greatest, but it's probably okay. I wouldn't take my word for it. But yeah, I love this phone. The screen is very nice. It's smooth. The build quality, man. It feels great, Oh shit, I got junk all over the back. Let me wipe it off. It feels great. It's got a plastic back, but it feels nice. It feels good in your hand. It's small, sleek. It's got the new 18:9 display. I can't say enough about this phone. This phone's incredible. I haven't used it as a daily driver. And like I said, I would get the G6 for a little more power, because I think as a daily driver, you're going to feel that lack of power, lack of RAM, lack of all that stuff. But man, I like this phone. I wish the G6 Plus had come here. I would probably sell my S8 and get the G6 Plus, if nothing else than for shits and giggles. If it only came to the damn United States. Man, I'm so mad that it didn't. But, because I believe you can get the international version, but it doesn't even have the right LTE bands. I believe not all of them. So, but yeah, that's my review of the G6 Play, like I said, the thing I'm always looking at here is display quality. Number one most important thing. It's nice, you know, especially for a $199 phone. It's nice. It's smooth. This phone feels great. Man, I tell you what, Moto hits it out of the park. Got the modern look. Screen is pretty big. It's a little wider. I compared it to my S8, and you know the S8. Honestly, it feels just a tad bigger than the S8 screen wise. But if I put them right next to each other, the S8 display is like a little taller. And then it's tough to say, but the Play's display seems a little wider. It definitely is a little wider. It's more square. It feels bigger though. It feels to me a little bigger than the S8 display. Just because of the way it's got square corners or something. I don't know what the difference is. But yeah, for $199 or for $79 on Boost Mobile, you can't go wrong. And I was looking at Boost Mobile. They've got some pretty nice plans. They got $35 for 3 gigabytes, which is a little high. On Cricket, I was paying $35 for 8 gigabytes. Although I believe 5 gigabytes is what it was. $35 for 5 gigabytes. Right when I left. Before that, I was paying $45 for 8, but I wasn't using all 8. That's why I switched to $35 for 5. So yeah, that seems about right. But one thing I noticed is they have $60 for unlimited, which is probably they throttle you after, you know, I don't know, 35 gigabytes or something. That's what Sprint does. Like I have unlimited on Sprint postpaid, but it throttles you after 35 gigabytes. But big deal. I wasn't even using 8 gigabytes on Cricket. But one thing I really liked is I saw on the Boost Mobile $60 unlimited plan, they give you hotspot for 20 gigs worth. Like I have hotspot with my Sprint plan, but it throttles you after 5 gigabytes of using hotspot. Which is, again, the only thing I need a hotspot for is like if my internet goes down, it's nice to have something temporarily to use my desktop or laptop with. But I haven't come to a circumstance where I actually need it yet. I mean, pretty much everywhere I use my phone or laptops, I have Wi-Fi, you know, or computer or whatever. But it could definitely come in really handy in a pinch. But yeah, so that's the G6 Play. You know, again, what do I think of it? I love it. It's let's putting a different wallpaper on because, like I said, I see all the reviews seem to have the same wallpaper, the green one. So let's try something. Oh, what would be a nice one to put on there? We could put this kind of darkish blue one. Set wallpaper, both. Wow, I like the looks of that one. That's nice. I do like that one. Yeah, kinda. Mostly I always stay with default phone wallpapers. Those seem to be the best to me. This one's pretty good. It's not distracting at all. I like that. So there's another wallpaper for you. Yeah, I actually kind of like that. I may keep that for a little while. But yeah, so great phone, and Moto hits it out of the park again. Even if you were to just buy this thing is so smooth. The fact that you can get this for $79 is crazy to me on Boost Mobile. And you know, you could get this for $79, get the $35 plan. You know, that's the cheapest chips to get into phone service. You know, wow, capitalism's amazing. America may be a country that loves communism for the most part, but people are stupid because capitalism is ridiculously amazing at a lot of things. It may have its flaws, but to bring you a phone like this for $79 and cheap service, you know, this phone's amazing. And but like I said, I'd probably go with the G6. I don't think Boost Mobile has the G6. But if you're buying it unlocked, I would get the G6 for $249, and I bet you there's going to be sales cheaper than that. So I mean, I guess I'll wrap it up. I don't really know what else to say. This is an awesome phone, and I would say get it if you need one. Very cool. I noticed Samsung's or Moto's dialer's kind of cheap looking. Or it's probably a Sprint dialer. I don't know. The camera app was a little slow at first, but now it's faster. So yeah, nice phone. Highly recommended.